Hello, my name is Lauren Ferris, and I will be giving you a presentation of my location media project for JOMC 101. For this project, we had to pick three different locations, specifically restaurants in Lincoln, and then we chose five different location media applications on our smartphone and did some research and gathered some information about each of those three locations. For my first location, I chose a salad and sandwich restaurant located on O Street in Lincoln called Grateful Greens. And for my second location, I chose Yaya's Pizza and Beer, which is another popular restaurant downtown. And then lastly, I chose Bison Witches, another little sandwich shop downtown in Lincoln. Then, like I said, we chose a couple different location media apps to download and use on our smartphones. I had to pick a couple more than five just because some of my restaurants that I chose were a little bit more difficult to find information about. So I had to go and kind of research and find a couple different applications that had information about them. So we're going to start off with Yelp, which is the first application I used. On Yelp, you can search for different restaurants that are nearby, and you can search for bars and coffee shops and much more. It generally gives you some reviews, some ratings, it shows you some photos, and then it gives you some basic information. Yelp presented me with the location of the restaurant, directions how to get there, hours, the ambience, if they delivered, if they made reservations, seating, parking, that sort of thing. So you really get a wide variety of information on Yelp. Going on, I went to research my three restaurants on Yelp. First of all, I learned that Grateful Greens, their noise level is marked as quiet, which is kind of interesting. Could be important if you want to go someplace for a date, don't really want a loud restaurant. So I thought that was a really helpful piece of information. About Yaya's, I found that they do not take reservations. Again, that's an important piece of knowledge to know if you're planning on going out to eat. And then for Bison Witches, I found a little fun fact that they actually have a jukebox for music. So again, I have some screenshots here showing just kind of what the application looks like. Really easy to navigate and just has a nice list of information. Going on, the next application I used was Urban Spoon. Just to kind of give an overview, it offers the best options in your area. So basically it uses your location and then it pulls up just different options, and you can like look at them according to the type of cuisine and the price, which is shown in this little screenshot of the application. They also allow you to favorite places, which was kind of interesting, so you can keep a list of your favorite restaurants and find them easier when you go into the application. And then again, some basic information was given about the restaurant when you search it. So they tell you how many people liked it, their phone number, address, price, hours, menu, that sort of thing. And then you can also search according to the type of restaurants and price range and the time of operation. So if it's like breakfast, dinner, or lunch, which you can see in the little screenshot there. Going on to find information about the three restaurants, I found on Urban Spoon that at Grateful Greens most entrees are under $10 and there are vegetarian and vegan options offered there. I found that out of 479 people, 87% liked Yaya's when they went. And lastly, I found that at Bison Witches, two of the most popular items are the BLT, the clam chowder, and the half Reuben. So again, there's a snapshot there of the application. Really easy. Right away, you see how many people, the percentage of people that liked it, which I thought was really helpful. Gives you kind of an idea of what you're going into before you have to do a lot of research. So I really liked that. Next was Foursquare. So Foursquare, it's an application where you can browse and you can search locations, and it's not just food with this one. This has nightlife, shopping sites. It's basically just every type of location you can think of. And then it shows you who's checked in and who's been there. You try to check in as much as you can at a location, and then you become kind of like the king or queen of that area. Which is fun. And then they give you some photos, and then again, your basic information. So hours, menu, location, phone number, reviews, payment, etc., that sort of thing. Going on to find some facts. Grateful Greens, I found that from my current location, which was when I was sitting in Anderson, it would just be a 2-minute walk to get there, which was really cool to know. It's just a quick little walk. I found out on Foursquare about Yaya's that there is outdoor seating available. And then for Bison Witches, I found out that it is known for their notable service and their affordability, which are good things to know going into a restaurant. Next, I did one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known application, Facebook. A lot of people are familiar with Facebook, but it shows ratings, the amount of likes, and the people that have liked it and the people that have been there. So like if some of your friends have been there and liked it, it'll show you that and give you a list of your friends that have been there. And again, basic information, so location, phone numbers, payments, delivery, catering, that sort of thing. Lots of nice information. Also had a link to their website, which was nice too. And then I found some information about my restaurants on Facebook. So I found out that the general manager of Grateful Greens is Jim Larson, who is the man that was actually in the photo at the beginning of this presentation. He's an awesome guy. Anyway, I found out from Facebook that parking is available on the street at Yaya's, so you don't have to worry about finding a parking garage, it's right in front. And then I also found out that there are daily drink specials offered at Bison Witches. Okay, the next application I found was not a very popular, I guess, or well-known app, but it was pretty helpful. It's called Local Eats, and it gives you information regarding local restaurants, kind of like the best of the best type thing. And you can search nearby or just by city. And then general information is given, location, phone number, price, website. And then they had like a really detailed description of the dining experience, which was unique to Local Eats, and I found that really helpful. I found it didn't have Grateful Greens and Bison Witches, but I did find a fact about Yaya's on Local Eats, and that was it has a full bar that serves over 375 types of beers, but it's also kid-friendly, which is kind of nice. Next, I found the application called Food Spotting. Again, not a very popular or well-known application, but it was really interesting. It kind of took a different take on location applications, so it was kind of difficult to use though. It lets you look at the best dishes and the best places in certain areas, and then it just shows a picture of the food and how many people liked it. So it was kind of hard to find restaurants. There really weren't that many, which again kind of made it difficult to use. But I did find a fact about Bison Witches, and that was that the menu is comprised mainly of soup and sandwiches. So again, maybe not my favorite application, but still helpful in some cases. Lastly, I use just iPhone Maps, and this comes installed on all iPhones, which makes it really easy to access. And it just shows you the location on a map, and then it gives you very basic information, just like location, the phone number, reviews, that sort of thing. And I was able to find a fact about Grateful Greens on iPhone Maps, and that's that the type of food that is offered there is classified as New American. And again, there's a little screenshot there just showing the kind of basic information that you find. So with all of this and taking all of this into consideration and what I found on the location media applications that I used, if I had to pick a restaurant to go to, I would pick Grateful Greens. That's just because after going through the applications and looking at all the information, I found that this was kind of in my price range, so it was cheaper. It was like usually under $10 a plate, and I remember finding out that it was kind of a quiet atmosphere, which is nice just because when I go to eat, I like to kind of just relax. And I really liked that it was within walking distance from Anderson. It's a 2-minute walk, which is awesome on a tight schedule, especially at the end of the year with all these semester projects. I can just walk over and get a nice meal. And then I also found that a lot of the people that I know really like it. And that was something that Facebook helped me out with. I could go on and I saw that a couple of my friends really liked it, and they're people that I think I can trust their opinions on, so that was really helpful too. So that's just a little overview of my presentation of location media applications, and thank you for listening.